Hello, everybody. Today we have a drama. This is the third video, and in this video, I'm trying or I'm going to present or to, to talk about the other points or the differences between one act and full-length plays. In the previous videos, if you remember that in the first video, I talked about, I gave you a short introduction about one act play. The second video, I started with presenting the difference between one act and full-length plays. I explained, or just I talked in the previous video. I gave you 4 points. Now, in this video, the third one, I'm going to start with the 5th point, which is that the 4 stages, the exposition and the conflict, the climax and denouement, maybe tend to overlap in a one act play. So you know that the one act play, like the longer play, the full length play, it has beginning, middle, and an end. So, like the longer play, the one act play should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. It may be divided into 4 stages, which are the exposition, and the conflict, the climax, and the denouement. All these stages may be distinctly, marked as in the larger play. They are distinctly marked. We can say, they are because they are. It is a longer play, so they are, introduced in details in these stages. But more often than not, they tend to overlap in a one-act play because it is too short that we can say there is an overlap or overlapping between these 4 stages in one-act play. You know that the exposition serves as an introduction to the play. The situation and the themes of the play are explained to the audience, and the important characters are also introduced. Everything here should be told to the audience in details. But as the one-act play is very short, the dramatist cannot devote much time to this introduction and the explanation. Hence, the exposition of one act play is usually brief. The exposition also is followed by the second stage, which is conflict. It is through the conflict that the action of the drama develops. The conflict means a struggle between 2 opposing forces. The conflict may take different forms. There may be, a struggle between 2 opposite interests, ideas, persons, group of persons, or the hero and his fate or circumstances, like if you remember in the classical theater or plays. There may also inner conflict between the 2 opposite ideas and or urges in the mind of the hero. If you remember the conflict inside the inner conflict inside the mind of the brain of Hamlet, the inner conflict to be or not to be, who may not able to decide what to do. Also, many suffer great agony of the spirit as a consequence. The conflict here is the very backbone, is the essence, is the can say the major point of one act play. After the conflict comes the third stage, which is the climax. It is the turning point of a drama. So one of the 2 contending forces, or one of the 2 struggling, or we can say fighting, or we can say fighting forces now gains supremacy over the others. It is now clear which of the 2 would win in the end of the story or end of the play. The climax is an important part of one act play. It constitutes its moment of supreme interest. So the climax is so important. The suspense of the story, of the suspense of the play, with the climax, we can say, the turning point. The fourth and the final stage, which is the denouement, is the next and the final stage of one act play. The play now reaches its end. One of the two contending forces now definitely gets victory over the other, and the action of the drama concludes and ends. So the play comes to an end just after the climax. And now the following point, which is that the three dramatic unities play, the unity of time, unity of space, unity of action, are observed in one act play. So here we can say that these three dramatic unities, which were coined by Aristotle in the classical drama, the three dramatic units which are observed in one act play, as far as possible, they are observed as far as possible. The unity of time, unity of a place, unity of action. If the drama is to be probable and natural, these three unities are to be observed by the dramatist. So sometimes it is difficult to observe these unities, but effort is to be made to observe them as far as possible. The following point, which is that the one act plays are generally enacted by amateur and non-professional players in amateur theaters. The one more distinction between one act and full-length plays is that while the full-length plays are performed in commercial theaters by professional actors, the one act players are generally enacted by amateur and non-professional players in amateur, university, school, or experimental theaters. The audience, in case of one act play, mostly consists of friends, colleagues, acquaintances of the amateur players. And nevertheless, popular one act plays have also been performed reportedly theaters by professionals. So this is the seventh point or difference between them. Now the eighth point. Now in terms of characters, the characters in a one act play are limited in number. There are not too many. There are only 2 or 3. There is also no full development of character. So the characters in one act play, the space at the disposal of the player is limited. If he introduces too many characters, it would result in overcrowding and lessen the effect of the drama. That's why there is no hard and fast rule as to the number of characters in a play. There are not more than 2 or 3 principal characters. Not more than 2 or 3 principal characters. Not only only the characters are limited in number, but there is also no full development of a character. The dramatist has no time to present the character. The character is through the different stages of their development. All different aspects of a character are not presented. The attention is focused on only 1 or 2 salient aspects of the character. They are brought out by placing the characters in different situations and circumstances. Not only this, beside this also, the characters in modern act play are ordinary men and women. They are neither saints or devils. They have all the faults, the weaknesses, as well as all the virtues that ordinary people or ordinary human beings have. If they are not, if they are otherwise, it would make the play unnatural, unrealistic, and unconvincing. Ninth point, the language of the dialogue should be simple, brief, easy to understand. You know that dialogue is of the greatest importance in one active play. As the drama is short, all superfluity is to be avoided. Absolute economy of means should be used. Every word is to be carefully chosen. Sentences must be compact, condensed. Effort should be made to say whatever is to be said in the least possible words. Thus, the language of the dialogue should be simple, brief, and easy to understand. You know that long speeches, arguments, and long sentences should be avoided or would be out of place and would lessen the charm and the interest and the suspense of the play. Now, the final or the 10th point or difference between a long and short, full length play and one act plays, that detailed stage directions are invariably introduced by dramatists in the one act play. You know that the space at disposal of the playwright is limited, so he cannot supply us detailed information through a lengthy exposition or during the action of the play itself. This purpose served by stage direction. So the stage directions now plays a very important role in introducing, or giving us some details which cannot be, given or presented in the one act play. So it plays a very important or vital role in describing many details of the scene, give an air of realism to the drama. So these are the most or the major points or the major differences between the one act and the full length play. The next video I'm going to talk about I'll give you some or a brief history of one act plays. It will be very short, and it will be also the major the major, or we can say the details of or a brief history of one act plays. So thank you so much for joining my class and listening to my lecture. Thank you once again.